Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
I'm here with Moopz, Super Hot Crew. So I actually want to start further back in time than now, which is that you were in this team called Team Cypher, this French team. And nowadays, people who only watch LCS now will have never heard of this team. Even people who know European, they'll be like, oh, I remember CLG, I remember Moscow, I don't remember Team Cypher. Because the team was only really big at the end of 2011 and early in 2012. And after that, it disappeared. When you actually joined the team, wasn't it like a top team at the time?
I wouldn't say it was a top team, but they did a surprising result in IM New York. They got top 2 or top 3. So I joined that. I joined Cypher just after this. We were decent, but I wouldn't say top team.
Whereabouts were you as a player at the time? Was this really, really early for you? What were you good at? How did you play?
It was my first competitive team. I never played in a team before Cypher. So I was okay, but I'm not sure I was at the level of the other top teams, but I was decent.
When you used to play and you just joined Cypher, who were the players that were like hard to play against in your position? Who were the toughest?
Well, at this time, there was Fnatic, but I think XPK was still playing top at this time,
Yeah, I think so.
I guess Alexish was already there, so yeah, I would say Alexish was the best at this time.
Because around that time was when the world first found out about Froggen. Before that, he was just some Danish guy playing off in...
Yeah, it was the start of the
yeah.
Froggen story.
Did you know him before he joined that team?
Yeah, I knew him before, like when no one knew him. At this time he was only playing Anivia. He was really, really good with her, but he was not one of the best because his champion pool was not that good at this time, but yeah.
So when he first came on the scene, did you think he was like overhyped when everyone was like, he's amazing, the best?
Yeah, I think it was overhyped because he was playing Anivia every game, so no one saw him playing other champion. But he learned fast other champions and became one of the best.
So one of the big results early in your career was at Gamers Assembly. We're talking about Froggen here. This was the first offline event for CLG EU, and they'd been killing everyone online. Everyone was like, oh, no Moscow 5, they're going to win this event for sure. How did they finish third and you finished first?
Well, CLG EU was really, really hyped at this time. Like, everyone thought they would send this tournament. No one thought about us because we were just French. Actually, we are not French team because we had Liu, me and Kikis as top laner. So yeah, we didn't even expect much when we went into this tournament because we changed the lineup like 1 week before the tournament. I Am So Fresh joined us as jungler, but I think we won this tournament because the patch was perfect for us. Like, we played Udyr tops almost every game at this tournament, and it was really, really strong. And also we played Nautilus in jungle once he just went out. Like, no one knew about this champion, no one was playing him, and it was really, really OP. And yeah, this patch was fitting me well as well. Like, I played Ziggs and Morgana and Cartus in this tournament, and yeah, to be honest, all the games were pretty easy. We were really surprised about this tournament.
Because early on, like when I asked you to name players, there weren't that many super famous mid laners in Europe. Now everyone thinks like, oh, you can go down a huge list of mid laners. So after the period in Team Cypher, you're not in the top teams anymore. Now you're like in the level below and you're going through team to team to team. Did you really think like, oh, I'm going to stick with it and one day I'm going to be in a top team again? Did you ever think about quitting? What was your mindset like over the next year and a bit?
Well, of course I thought I could go to the top again, let's say, but I didn't really know what to do. I just kept playing solo queue and I was like, let's see what happens. And yeah, I played in some decent amateur team like Moopz, Millennium. I mean, it was not the best level, but it was really good experience. Played a lot of offline, even if we didn't win them. It was good times.
Towards the end of 2012, going into season 3, was when like Europe really got famous for the mids. Like even beyond all the famous ones, Alexish, Froggen, we all know the famous ones, but even beyond then you had like Tabs used to play mid, you had Extinct, you had other people who were good as well. At the time, were you really at their level? You were close to them, but you just couldn't get in a team? Were they better than you? What do you think?
It's hard to say since I didn't play in a team, and because you can't really judge your level in solo queue and in tournament, but I think at this time I was at the level, definitely.
What do you think is the ideal sort of mid lane meta for Moopz? If you had to describe it, what would you want as the champions? What kind of style should be played?
Well, I really don't like assassin, so I would definitely say mage, farming, and big impact in teamfight with like some AoE ultimate or good CC.
So if you like farming and you don't like assassins, then Season 3 was terrible for Moopz.
Yeah, kinda, but I don't know. I think even though assassins were stronger at one point, you could still play mage and do fine. It's just maybe harder, or you just have to play different.
One of the most famous assassin players in Europe in Season 3 was Nukeduck, because before Season 3 summer, no one really knew who Nukeduck was. Then suddenly he's in the best team, and every game Zed, Fizz, playing all the assassins. Then after that, now Nip's not doing very well and they're trying to get back in. Was he kind of only good on assassins?
For sure, he's really, really good on assassins. He's not bad on mage, but he's weaker than on assassins. But yeah, in Lemon Dogs, everyone say, yeah, Dexter was carrying, blah blah blah. Like, I mean, they were a good duo together. They had really good synergy, but I don't think that's true that Dexter was carrying. They were both doing fine, and yeah, that's it. Then they were stomping people, but yeah. Nukeduck is definitely really good individually. You can even see that right now NIP is in amateur scene, but they are far ahead of every team, and I'm pretty sure they will come back in LCS next relegations.
In that season, the two players who always got compared was Nukeduck and Bjergsen, because they were both young guys, both making their name. Now we see Bjergsen's going crazy in TSM. How would you compare the two now?
It's hard to say because Nukeduck is playing in amateur scene and Bjergsen is playing in LCS, but I would say Bjergsen is better. They are definitely almost the same, but I would say Bjergsen is a bit better.
People make a joke on Reddit that they say when Bjergsen was in Europe, he was one of the best mids in Europe. When Bjergsen is in NA, he's one of the best mids in the world. And they're trying to joke that like NA must be so bad that just a good mid can just dominate the whole thing. Is there any truth to that? If we took Nukeduck and we send him to CLG and we took, you know, Froggen and we put him in TSM, would they be dominating LCS NA? What do you think?
I think if we would put Nukeduck or Froggen or Alexis or actually any mid of LCS Europe in TSM, TSM will still be the best team in NA. I think only I is decent in mid in NA. The rest is really not at the level. Well, I didn't see much because I don't really watch LCS NA, but from what I saw, it's like Bjergsen I, then the others mid.
One of the people in Europe who's been a bit surprising this season for people who are fans is Overpow, because he was always in the Nexus team and they were always okay. Has something changed? Was he really just an okay player before and his level's gone up? What do you think about him now?
Well, the thing is, with Overpow, he played every role, like literally every role in Nexus and whatever name they were playing with before that. I think he was really good at every role, but I think it's pretty hard to get known when you are playing in only Polish team. It's like if you play in only French team or things like that, it's really hard to get known. And yeah, as soon as they qualified for LCS, everyone realized that he's really good.
Is there something unusual about his style? I mean, everyone sees him playing Kale and Lulu and stuff. Like, is he an unusual type compared to other mid-laners?
Well, he likes to play like cheese, let's say, because he played Mordekaiser. No one would expect that. He played Ziggs with Flash Ghost and Jungle Item. I mean, he's really good, and the fact that he plays unusual stuff is even harder to play against him because you enter the game in LCS and you play Mordekaiser or Ziggs with Jungle Item and you really don't know what to expect from it, so yeah.
When we came to this season and this Alliance team was formed, I really thought, I thought to myself, like, Froggen is the best, so I think if he has a good team, he's going to prove he's like the best mid in Europe, and at the moment it's not going so well for them. What do you think of Froggen now that you've seen him in CLG, where he had that one lineup for so long, and now you've seen him with different players? Has it changed your opinion on him at all?
It didn't change my opinion on him. I think he's literally one of the best in Europe, even world. Like, his laning phase is really, really good, and right now he's playing a bit bad after the laning phase. He doesn't make the best decisions, but mechanically and laning phase is definitely one of the best. But like, every Alliance game is like Froggen against the world, kinda, because I think Alliance has too much pressure on them, because before LCS start they were too hyped and everyone was like, hey, Alliance best team EU, they will go first LCSU, easy, blah blah blah, and then at the Super Weeks they go 0-4 and they get trash talk from the community because everyone accepted to be on the top and they get 0-4 first week. And right now they are coming back a bit from it, but it's still hard because I just think it's the pressure. When Tabs was in Lemon Dogs, he had no pressure at all, and I would say in the Season 3 LCS he was the best AD in LCS, and right now it's not at his top level as we saw before. Yeah, I think it's just about the pressure they have on them.
Who is harder for Moopz to play, Xpeke or Alex Ich? Just for you.
I am not sure. They have both same playstyle. Assassins, they like to roam a lot. I would say it's harder to play against Alex Ich because he has Diamond procs with him. So
what makes it different then for having Diamond?
Well, Diamond procs likes to sit around mid. One Cyanide, I'm not sure what he likes to do, but it's harder to play against Diamond procs than Cyanide for sure.
Coming into this season, for obvious reasons, people who don't know your team and aren't familiar with the names will say, oh, let's look down this list. They will be last place because you didn't even qualify in the first place. What were your own expectations for this season? What was realistic?
Well, I would understand people thinking we will be last. Of course, when you enter LCS, you don't expect to go last spot yourself, else you will just lose. And well, I would say I expect to go top 1, because if you don't expect that, it's hard to play, hard to motivate yourself. So yeah. But right now we are almost in the middle of the season and we are 5-6, so top 1 is not really possible, but yeah, top 6 to not get in the playoffs is our main goal.
When you were in the promotion series and you play SK, it was like 2 different games. You were winning 2-0, so easy, and then it seemed like NIF and SK it was a different team came in the last 3 games. What was it like for you? Like, so close and then you lose? Well,
before we entered the whole best of 5, we literally thought we would go 3-0 and stomp SK because we are really confident, and it showed why we were confident in the 2 first games. Like, the first game was kinda close, the second game was stomp, and then I don't know, I think we just were too confident for the rest, and I personally think that NIF carried them the relegation. Like, every 3 games, the whole 3 games after we got 2-0, the whole action was bot lane and NIF was starting everything. He was playing Leona, Annie, he was just engaging. They win 3v2 or 3v3 bot lane, they go Dragon, they take turret, and the 3 games were like that, so yeah.
If the whole situation with Lemon Dogs didn't happen, then at the moment, in theory, Super Hot Crew wouldn't be in LCS. So would the team, do you really think the whole team would have stayed exactly the same? You would just play Challenge League and you hope to get in next season? Do you think there might have been changes?
Well, we would have sit together for sure in the Coke League, but maybe some players will get LCS proposition and join, but if we didn't get into LCS, we will play Coke League for sure with the same lineup.
At the moment, in the Challenger scene, we have like Cloud9 Europe, we have NIP, who people thought were going to be in LCS. Are these teams LCS level?
NIP is LCS level for sure. About Cloud9, I'm not sure, because well, if they could play with their 2 players, Febivan and Ku, maybe they would be LCS level, but next relegation, I think only one of them will be able to play, so I'm not sure about their level without them.
The mid laner you mentioned there, He's one of the players who Nuke Duck told me he thought was really good in the amateur scene. Describe this player for people who've never seen him.
Well, he's really good with driven, and I would say he's average with the rest, but for the amateur scene it's fine. He's really good compared to the amateur scene, I would say.
Do you have anyone you want to thank at the end of the interview or say hello to?
Well, I will thank all the people that support us, because we were, let's say, not the most hyped at the start of FCS, but right now we started the season 1-5 and now we are 5-6. So I think we start to get a good fan base. So yeah, I will thank all the people supporting Support Crew. Also, I will thank our sponsor CM Storm. And yeah, that's it.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.